Hey guys, so 2022 is pretty much at an end now, and 2023 is just around the corner. And as many of us make our New Year's resolutions, we make our plans for next year, personal finances may enter into the question for some of you. You may be thinking about how to see improvement, success, growth, and increase in your finances next year. And in this video, what I'm going to try to do is give you a bit of a breakdown of how you can come up with an action plan and a thought process of how to make that happen. So let's get right into the video. So the first thing you want to do before you even start thinking about goals or how to get there is you want to take stock of what is your current position. So what cash do you have on hand? What assets do you have? Do you have a home? Do you have a car? Do you have anything of value that can be sold for a monetary value? Do you have investments? Do you have savings currently? Do you have any outstanding debts, any liabilities? So money that you owe to anyone, essentially. This is an important first step because this is kind of your base point, your starting point to where you want to get to. So depending on the goal you set, you're going to need to determine your action plan based on where you're starting. And in order to take stock of your financial situation, what you can use is something called a net worth statement. So that essentially looks at everything you have, your assets, minus your liabilities, and that comes up with your net worth. Now, if you're looking for a net worth calculator, I'll leave the link to mine in the description, and I'm going to run a New Year's offer so you can get that file at a discount, and you'll find it really useful and helpful for using this on a yearly basis, a monthly basis even, or a quarterly basis, depending on how frequently you'd like to track your net worth. But you can use this file over long periods of time to track your net worth progress. Okay, so now that you've got your starting point, you've taken stock of your situation, you can start to think about, okay, what is my goal? What am I aiming for? What is my vision for my finances this year? For some of you, it might be to get out of debt. For some of you, it might be to start investing. For some of you, it may be to save money for a holiday or a big purchase, maybe a house, a car. These are all great goals, but whatever you do, what I really encourage you to do is, one, put a number on it. So a specific amount. If you're saving for a house, let's say you want to save for a house deposit, put a number on it, whether it's £15,000, £20,000, 25,000 euros, dollars, whatever you need, start working towards it. And it might not be the full amount that you need this year. Maybe you save a portion of that this year, but putting a number on it and a time frame on it as well. So the time in which you want to achieve this money. So in this context, the time would be a year. For the immediate goal, perhaps the longer goal is 2 or 3 years to get to your full savings amount. But by putting a number on it and by putting a time on it, you make it a SMART goal. So a specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-measured goal, which is really important for measuring progress and keeping you accountable to yourself and your goals and what you want to achieve. So we got the starting point, we got the vision. Now we need to come up with an action plan. So what do we need to do to get there? So let's take the example that you want to pay off debt is your goal. Let's say you want to pay off, I don't know, £2,000 of debt this year. So part of your action plan is of course going to be putting money aside to pay off that debt. The question is, how much can you put aside? How much are you willing to put aside? Now, that will very much depend on you and your situation and you know, a lot of other factors. But the key thing here is committing to an amount or saying we're going to put aside money to be able to pay off that debt. Or if you want to start investing, it might be setting up an auto invest into an investing account, whether it's a brokerage account, whether it's an index fund. If you're saving, again, automating your saving. So coming up with actions that you can take in order to be able to meet your goals. The next step is super important and it will be ongoing throughout the year, and that's measuring your progress. Now, the best way to measure your progress with this is to have a budget. So something where you're writing down or putting in an Excel sheet or categorizing, you know, transactions from your bank account if they're linked to an app or even within your own bank, tracking your income and looking at where your expenditure is on your bank statement. And by doing this, a budget serves 3 purposes. Number 1, it helps you identify your spending tendencies, your habits, and your behaviors. So if you've never done a budget before and you track what you spend and what money you've brought in, you might be surprised to see that, oh, most of my money is going on eating out, for example. But because you did the budget exercise, you've been able to identify that, and it's something that you can then take action on to meet your goals. Number 2, it allows you to take action. So if you realize that you're eating out too much, you can then take action and think, okay, I need to cut back on my eating out. So that I have more money to put towards investing or saving or paying off debt or whatever it is. And your budget might also make you realize that your original goal is a stretch, or you might need to lower your expectations or come up with a more realistic plan. So you can adjust your budget and your goals accordingly, thanks to seeing this behavior, how it's playing out on paper, what you're spending money on, and how much money you're bringing in. And the third thing, like goals, is it serves to keep you accountable. So if you have a goal and you have your progress and you compare them and you see that you're not quite up to scratch, you're not quite saving as much money as you need, you're not investing as much as you want, you're not paying off as much debt, then seeing that with your own eyes, it should do something in you to drive you to action, to want to do something to put you back on track. And then the last thing to do, not just at the end of 2023, but throughout the year as well, is to have regular reviews and discussions with, whether it's, yourself, if you're running your own budget, or with your partner, your family, whoever it may be, who's impacted by the decisions in this budget and what you're trying to achieve financially, is to sit down and, look at everything, look at the net worth statement at the start of the year, look at it throughout the year if that's how you're tracking it, looking at the budget. And because now you have a start point, you have something to track your progress, and you have a middle point or a milestone on the journey, you should be able to identify, with the help of the budget, how have we gotten to where we are today? Why are we in the situation we are today based on our spending? So let's take the example of someone who's saving for a house deposit. Let's say the goal was to have £1,000 saved by the end of June, so halfway through the year. But let's say there's only £600 saved, and the answer might be that there was an unexpected expense. The car broke down, or we needed to call the plumber. All very reasonable expenses, but simply being able to understand why you are where you are in relation to your goal is very helpful, and it helps you to stay on track, adjust your plan if needs be, and work towards that goal, that vision. So I hope you found these steps helpful, guys, and I hope it gives you a framework and a method to work within to help you achieve your goals in 2023 when it comes to your finances. Leave a comment and let me know, what are some of your goals? What is your vision for 2023 for your finances? Till next time, all the best with your finances in 2023. I'll see you on the next one, and let's get this money.